in today's society where everybody is so infatuated by just, women in general. It's kind of hard for a guy to kind of realize like where he'd really stand. Let me talk about my experience. Okay. So the most direct way of seeing this is through dating apps in any city in the world. See, for example, like the other day I saw online that there was this woman who signed up for an account on Tinder and then she left it for a few days and then afterwards she opens up the app to find more than 5,000 likes. I feel like if a man did the same thing, like he wouldn't even come remotely close to that number at all. So I feel like since women have the power to choose, then the power distribution is kind of skewed in their favor. Where, for example, I see in my profile that I'll be seeing a bunch of three and fours women going after like six and sevens, seven and eight. So I remember when I got back into this thing a while back, I had in mind exactly like what kind of woman I was gonna go for. Like I had this set of criteria where like, oh, she needs to be from here. She gotta speak this language. She gotta be this tall and whatever. And then I feel like after a few days following this strict regime, it doesn't really work because the reality is in these apps you need quantity over quality, which sounds a little bit sick, but it also explains why for any woman it's easy for them to get to the thousands. So I feel like in this situation, most of the matches I got were either hookers or bots or just women that
Scammers.
I want that yeah scammers or like women that I'm not attracted to because I'm an average guy in the city. So reality hits men really hard. So it kind of messes with our mindset and makes us self doubt. Like, oh, are we really worse than we are in real life? Which might not necessarily be true. I feel like if you walk outside and just try to talk to women, you probably get a better reaction than you do on these apps.
I mean, I think people usually go on dating apps not to date, right?
Yeah, the hookup.
So, I mean,
But but the funny thing is, right? I've noticed like in Asia, especially, since women have the power to say what they want, and naturally women don't want to hook up with strange men. So instead, you get a bunch of women on these apps who say no friends with benefits, no hookups, no whatever, no anything. And then you cultivate a group of men who who's been conditioned to think, oh, okay, maybe I can't act this way. I can't ask straight up, oh, I want to hook up with you tonight or whatever. I got to be submissive. I got to seek the woman's approval first so that I might have a chance to be with her because straight up she's already told me no, I don't want to have meaningless sex. I don't want to um, meet up for a fling or like a short term thing. I want a stable relationship with a nice man, which is kind of like finding a needle in a haystack, especially like in these apps, because the original purpose is not to find like a long term relationship. It's not Hinge or what coffee meets bagel, you know. And I think you were talking about OnlyFans the other day, right?
yeah, I mean, you can see just from OnlyFans, like how much more men crave women. Of the content creators on OnlyFans, 69% are female and only 31% are male. I mean, that shows you like how much more men want female.
I think that's the same, not just OnlyFans, it's also just social media in general. Like, notice how friend list, the women usually get a lot more likes and attention than if a guy posts something. I feel like even if a woman posts like the most boring post ever, they would still get a lot more likes than the guy. And that's just how it works basically on the internet.
I mean, like, even if you think about it, like, if I asked you to name like five female models, I bet you could do that easily, right?
Yeah.
But if I asked you to name like five male models, I don't think you can even give me like two.
Okay, I can only think of that guy who he went to prison, and then I think Versace signed him because he had those eyes. Like his mugshot was really handsome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
that
who you're
dude.
talking about.
That's the only guy. That's the only guy I know.
I only know that guy and what
Oh,
Gigi Hadid's
Lucky Blue
brother.
Smith.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
But I mean, if you go out to any dude, they can probably give you like 10 models. And
Yeah.
even if you go to women, I'm sure they can give you more female models than they can give you male models.
All we see are the snippets of their highlights. Like they're always showing the best side. I think anybody, not just celebrities, it's like, I feel like I do it too as well. Like whenever I'm posting on social media or whatever, it's always something that I want to show off in some way,
Nobody
or else
posts
what,
the worst
or else
pictures.
what? Yeah, nobody would post bad pictures because the whole point of social media is for people to feel good about themselves, and it's kind of evolved into something toxic, but that's for something later. But essentially we're getting positive feedback from our peers for the stuff we post, and that's the same for celebrities as well. For them it's slightly different because they're more famous, but they're just humans as well. They do the same stuff that we do. I mean, there's no
And
reason
like,
for us to see them any way differently.
and I mean, on social media, everyone is editing pictures. No one is like that perfect. They're only showing
Yeah,
you the side of
yeah,
them that they want you to see.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, all the athletes have 6 pack abs on social media. No one is flexing their abs 24/7.
That's
Like,
so true.
even like if you wanna take a nice picture of yourself, like go to the gym, get a pump on, and do this like right before you eat anything. So when you're the leanest, and when you haven't had any food, when you haven't had any water, and with your pump, and with the right lighting, like, and you post that, everyone's gonna think you're lean and ripped. But
Yeah,
then go
yeah,
do the
yeah.
same thing with like bad lighting after you haven't gone to the gym, after you've eaten like, I don't know, a lot of food and drank a lot of water. It's not gonna be the same.
See, I always thought, okay, I always thought that six packs are always visible no matter when.
I thought that too, you know.
So now you're telling me that it's not?
Okay, like, don't get me wrong, there are some people out there who naturally have like very visible abs, but there are also a lot of people who have abs on social media but don't have abs like the rest of the time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's because the right conditions.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, if you think about it, after you work out, you get a pump, right? So your muscles are
Yeah,
all
yeah,
swollen. You look bigger than usual.
yeah.
Your muscles are all showing very clearly. And if you do it when you're not eating, or when you haven't eaten, or when you haven't drank water, it's like you're at your lightest weight. So there's no bloating,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing, no water weight.
Mm-hmm.
So you look super lean.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how they do. I mean, like, if they prep, there's like, you know, those Mr. Olympia and all that stuff. They have to prep for that.
you mean like those competitions?
Yeah, there's a lot of preparation that goes into that.
Like the ones that where they get oiled up and stuff and
Yeah,
tan?
dude, even the oils and the tans, it makes them look like it increases the definition.
I think, yeah, that's the whole point of tanning, right?
Yeah.
Just to make it seem more toned.
So even the dudes at the top of their game, the best bodybuilders are all doing this. So you can only imagine like what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, for the likes, for the gram,
Yeah, for the views.
for the views.